then I think I should be streaming with all of the correct information now. Good, I can hear my own audio. That's promising. Cool. Saribot is back. Looks like the trick list is on. Okay. All right. Oh, it looks like we don't have my entire... There we go. And let me move this over here. So it looks like I'm looking at the screen. Okay. All right. So for anybody who hasn't been here before, I think everybody in chat has been, but there might be other people lurking. That I structure my magic stream like a music stream, and you can request tricks from my trick list. And the trick list is pinned in chat. So feel free to request. Let me get to my own trick list here. Okay, cool. And then let me also make sure that this is, whoops, not gaming, magic. Okay, so here, let's move the table a little bit so that the lighting is better. These are the things I have to worry about. Mark Rides, welcome in. How's it going? Thank you so much for the resub. Greatly appreciate it. 4 burglars I have never seen before. Thanks for the lurk, Bert. I just realized we don't have the list on right here. I'm going to put on cheating gloves. So cheating gloves is this stuff. Sort quick. But okay, yeah, we can... why did the command not work? Oh, the command did not work because it was inside of the resub thing. But yeah, we can do 4 burglars. A version that you cannot have possibly have seen before. I'm brand new, says Mark. Everybody, Mark Rides is brand new. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Okay. First of all, I guess we can, coincidentally, somebody else named Mark Rides has also subbed before in the past. And let's see here. Mark Rides. There we go. Thank you so much for the resub, Mark Rides. Even though you're brand new. So most certainly. All right. We are still getting the cheating gloves in, but let me also just add 4 burglars to the list here. 4 burglars. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So here we go. We have 4 kings, one of which is Mark Rides. And each one of these kings were different kings of the past. So here is King Tut. Here's King Arthur. Here's King Charles. And then here's King Mark Rides, okay? Here's King Mark Rides. So King Mark Rides, King Mark Rides is going to lead all of the other kings after the information age. And so here, all of these kings were in the past history. And so one of them, King Tut, probably goes the furthest back in history. And so that will be represented by putting him furthest back in the deck, which will represent the timeline. Then the next king is King Arthur. So King Arthur It's going to go kind of far back in history, but not as far back as King Tut. And then King Charles, probably the most recent besides King Mark Rides here. Put that maybe far enough, but not too far back. But here in the information age, we are at the dawn of a potential area where we will be able to recall. We might even be able to um, replicate all of the other kings. And so here, King Mark Rides will call up all of the kings. And so therefore, this could be seen almost as like a holodeck, right? So here's King Mark Rides along with King Charles and King Arthur and King Tut. And that, my friends, is a brand new version of Four Burglars that we've never seen before. I was actually having trouble determining which kings and which order I did that in, but I'm happy to say I don't think we've ever done that version of this trick ever before. So, thank you for the request, Mark Rides, and also thank you so much for the resub. Greatly appreciate it. Mark Rides, the signer of the King of Hearts. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Thank you kindly for the applause and the claps. Andres, Feldenkane, Chan the Magic Man. Thanks, guys. All right. Let's see. Next up, we have the Impulse card trick requested by Andres. Okay, let's see if I remember how to do this one. Let's see. Because while I was wondering if I could do this, I was like, do I need a refresher on how to do this? I don't remember. Okay, let me see here. I think, let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, okay. I think I've got it. Okay. Andre says, I became a magician. Andres, you became a magician? Let us know if you really are becoming a magician and what you're learning. I'm down to talk about magic inside baseball. Um, let's see here. Oh, let me double check and make sure. Was this a boss trick? Because I had a few. Let me see here. One, two. No, okay. Oh, wait. And how many boss tricks do I have? 3? Okay. Yeah. All right. Nope, we're good. So this one was not one. Okay. Andre says, no, no, no. I said it because you had unintentionally mentioned the name of the trick and you said that it's represented by me. Oh. Sorry. Okay, I understand what you're saying now. I got it. I got it. All right. So here is we have twos and jacks. I'm going to turn the jacks face down, and I have the twos. So I'm going to introduce you to them. So here we have the two of spades. We have the two of diamonds. We have the two of clubs, and then we have the two of hearts. And so here's what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and turn over one of these twos. I don't know if you could tell, but that one of those twos has turned face down. Now let me go ahead and snap again. That will turn over another two. And so now we've got two twos face down. Let me go ahead and do it one more time. And now we have three face down twos. And now let's do it one last time. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 face down twos. But actually, I wanted to do that not with the twos, but instead with the jacks. So let's go ahead and, I don't know if you can tell, but now all of these cards are the jacks, because if I show you, look, these are all jacks now, see? So 1, 2, 3, 4 jacks. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? That's super weird. But actually, here's what we're gonna do. If I was to go ahead and you would think that if I was to grab this pile and then place it on top of this pile, that something would be on top, like all the twos, and then followed by all of the jacks. Or maybe all the jacks are on top, and then maybe all the twos are on the bottom. But no, look, all I have to do is wave my hand over the top. And now if I spread, I have some schmutz on the pad. But look, if I spread, now every single two is interwoven with every single jack. And so if I show you, let me split these up here. Along with each two, we have, so with the two of spades, we have the jack of spades. Along with the two of diamonds, we have the jack of diamonds. Along with the two of clubs, we have the jack of clubs. Along with the two of hearts, we have the jack of hearts. But not only that, I've just changed the color, not of the jacks, but of the twos. And that, my friends, is the impulse card trick. All right, hopefully that finished before the ad break. Sorry if that was. Thank you for clearing that, Chan. Ads. Thank you kindly for the claps, Chan and Todd. The keyboard grinder. Welcome in, Winston. How you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's see. Thanks for shouting out the keyboard grinder, Chan. Guys, if you're not following our friend Winston, the keyboard grinder, please give the keyboard grinder a follow. Keyboard grinder is a pianist, plays keyboards, jazz music, funk, groove. Also has created some of his own originals. And he's actually really good at improvising, so as well. Princess Na, welcome in. Hello, how's it going? Oh, ads, lol. my my apologies for the ads. I will repeat when ads are done. I am aware. I will recollect after ads are done. Okay, all right. Okay, and then and I finished typing that after the ads are done. So back. Welcome back. All right. Okay. Where was I? Oh yes. Welcome in the keyboard grinder. Welcome in Princess Na. How are you guys doing today? Good to see you. Guys, if you're not following our friend the keyboard grinder, please give the keyboard grinder a follow. Keyboard grinder is a keyboardist. I don't even know if that's a word, but that's the word that popped in my head. Pianist, plays jazz, groove, funk. So definitely give the keyboard grinder a follow. Also, if you are not following our friend Princess Na, please give Princess Na a follow. Princess Na, art streamer, has also done a karaoke stream or two. And so, and also we see Princess Na in the keyboard grinder stream as well. So, but anyway, welcome in everybody. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. Happy Easter for those of you who celebrate Easter or celebrate the commercialization of Easter, which is probably more appropriately what my family and I celebrate. So not the so I would say we don't observe the religious reasons of Easter, but we celebrate the whole get together with family, eat food, um, hunting for eggs with the kids, that kind of thing. So, all right, next up we have a request from Chan the Magic Man. Thanks for the request, Chan. For Dazed. And then I see we have a request for Andres following that up. Excellent. All right, so oftentimes I do like to end stream with a few tricks, and Days is one of those tricks. I recently shared some of my quote-unquote secret magic shows. So luckily for me, in my first few years of doing magic, I got a chance to create magic shows for at at the time my workplace. It is now currently not my workplace because I'm looking for a new workplace. But I had all the recordings. One of my magic friends was actually looking to create a show for the first time. And I was like, well, here's what I did, 3 to 5 years ago. And so I shared them with him. And I actually ended one of my magic shows with this trick because what I do on stream kind of reflects how I want to show a show. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is called Dazed. All right, so first things first, I do have a packet of cards. I have a 6 of diamonds and a queen of clubs, but this packet, it looks normal from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4. But when I flip it over, you'll see that something's super weird, and they also have backs on this side. So actually all of them except for this one. This one's a little bit weird because it's blank on this side. So anyway, we have these cards, and the thing is they have a strange property because if I go ahead and I reflect them over another card, so let me just hold them over here. If I reflect them over the 6 of diamonds, I don't know if you can tell, but actually all of the cards have become 6 of diamonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Thanks for that heat map, whoever placed that there. Let me go ahead and eat that. Delicious. Now let me go ahead and hold the same packet and we'll reflect it over the queen of clubs. Now if I reflect it over the queen of clubs, I don't know if you can tell. Chan's got the queen of club emotes. But if I show you, all of the cards have become queens of clubs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can still see that they're queen of clubs right now, right? But it's not until I take this blank card. Something strange is going to happen when the blank side hits because, look, I don't know if you can tell, but now all of the cards, 1, 2, 3, 4 blank cards. And some people at this point ask to see the back, and I'm like, all right, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that, my friends, I will call a successful performance. One of my favorite tricks. Love that trick. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. Thank you kindly for the claps. Felden Kane, Chan the Magic Man, Andres, thanks for the applause. Alright, let me see. The most important thing to do is to set the trick back up. I've tried to do a trick before where I was not set up, and I went on to ruin the trick. So, alright, let's see here. What should I... Oh yeah, I see a request for plots of card magic for Andres. I actually didn't know what I should call this trick for the longest time, but actually I realized I created a YouTube video for this trick, and I I made the story basically the plots of card magic. So I'm like, oh, well, I should just call it the plots of card magic then, shouldn't I? It's like, oh, okay, I should do that. That should be done. Okay, all right. The beginnings of the magician. Oh, no, 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 not like that. Not like that. This is like, so we say the plots of the card magic as like the stories that you tell during card magic. Some people call it the story, some people call it the patter, some people call it the script. Oh, yes. Yeah, so those are the types of things that we were talking about here. Okay, all right. So let's hop back down here. Okay, So look, I have set aside the 4 kings mostly because it was just super convenient because we just did a trick with the kings like a couple tricks ago. But if I show you, we have a black king. So let me go ahead and place a black king, a red king, a black king, and a red king. Now, a lot of magicians will ask you which cards are the ones on top, and a lot of people like the top two. A lot of people would say, "Oh, the top two. There's a red king and a black king, right?" But oh, wait, Charlie's Beats has got the eyes. We also have to have the eyes here. I don't want to feel left out. I don't want to feel left out. Okay, there we go. But actually, if I just go ahead and I snap, I don't know if you can tell, but now both of the red kings are on the top. Because if I show you, here's both of the red kings that are on the top. Thanks for the thanks for the snap change. Okay, but now I don't know if you can tell, but now all I have to do is snap, and I don't know if you can tell now. If I was to ask you, what are the 2 cards on the top? A lot of people would say the 2 red kings, but no. If I show you, it's actually going to be the 2 um, black kings, right? Is that weird? That's super weird, right? But now, here's the part. So, a lot of people don't know, but some of the plots of card magic will ask you, hey, which cards are on top? They'll ask you, oh, keep track of this king. But another family of tricks will ask to have you try and figure out how the 4 aces got together. It doesn't really make sense for this trick because we just use the 4 kings, right? But in order for this to become a magician's plot of magic trick, we have to separate all of these kings, and then if we assemble them, this will become an ace assembly. And because look, I'm putting them together, and those kings have turned into the 4 aces. And thank you for this heat map over here. Delicious. So I'm going to make a concerted effort to eat all heat maps now because I got some feedback from somebody nonchalantly. It was just like off stream, but or no, no, it was on their stream, I think, and they were like, "Yeah, I remember." And the thing that they remember about my stream is because I eat the heat maps, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So anyway, thank you for requesting that, Andres, and thank you for clearing that, Chan. Thank you kindly for the claps, Chan the Magic Man, Felden Kane, Andres. All right. And thank you kindly for the applause. All right. Now, let's see. I did see a bunch of the emotes in chat. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to attempt. All right. Wait. Okay, hold on. Wait. Do you guys. Gibson eyes. Okay, here we go. Gibson eyes into Gibson sus eyes. Okay, there we go. I think that looks okay, right? And then we'll have to change it back. So we'll go from Gibson sus eyes. Just trying to get the angle right so it's not too glary. Gibson sus eyes to Gibson eyes. I think that looked okay too. All right. Okay, I'm going to try this. This may not work. Okay, so here we go. If we have Gibson Pog, right? But if I just go ahead and I... Nope, that looked pretty bad. Shh. All right, don't tell anybody that we just messed up magic, okay? Shh. That's a secret. Shh. Just between you and me and you and you and you and everybody else in chat right now. So shh. Charlie's taking notes. You know, out of all people, I am most comfortable if Charlie takes notes. If it was somebody else, especially if somebody like they just popped into stream for the first time, I'd feel a little bit nervous. See what? Says Andres. Yes, exactly. Right. Okay, all right. So I did allude to like 3 things in the title. I actually prepped the title before playing Hades, and then I was like, okay, I have to talk about these things. So, all right, currently the queue is empty. If anybody wants to request any magic, feel free. The queue is pinned currently in chat. But all right, first things first. This past Tuesday, I had a magic gig, and it was a 1 hour magic show at my local library. And so I basically brought a bunch of stuff. Um, I brought my entire magic box. So if anybody's familiar with seeing this magic box, this is the magic box I brought. And so I was prepared. I was effectively prepared for 4.5 hours just in case. But no, 1 hour, no problem. Um, and I brought my laptop and my camera webcam because I do close-up magic, so it doesn't really translate well if I have to like do it here, but then nobody can see. So I had my camera set up, projected onto the screen behind me, and like, all right, perfect. When I arrived, it was like 25 minutes before the show was supposed to start. There were already people lined up to come into the room to see me. I'm like, what? No way. Like, I did not expect this kind of turnout. And then the second thing was once I got set up, it was about 14 minutes to people started coming on, and then like a few minutes before the show was supposed to start, the librarian who was working, she came over and she told me, "I think we've run out of chairs." And I'm like, "Really? We ran out of chairs?" And I was like, "Oh, that's sweet." So by the end of the night, I heard that the head count was about like 90 people, 90 plus people, maybe like 93 or something like that. And I was like, "Whoa, that's awesome!" so, so yeah, I had an audience of at least 90, basically most of the gig. I did see some people coming in and out, but even if it was like a solid like 75 people, like very happy with that turnout. I heard later that some of the librarians are like, "Oh yeah, when we have programs, man, I would love to have like 30 or 40 people." And I'm like, "Sweet, I'm not disappointing the library staff." Um, but yeah, I did take some notes for what tricks I ended up doing. But I mean, a lot of the tricks I did, I basically all of them are tricks that are on the trick list, except I think I ad-libbed one. Um, so hold on, let me just pull that list up for a second, just so I can. Let's see. Yeah, so I did like the coin matrix. I did a twirl change. I did ambitious card trick, twisting the eights. I did one-eyed jack sandwich, play it straight triumph, three-card trick, and then I did an ad-libbed trick to demonstrate turning something up to 11. I did traveling man, color Monty, red herring, switch in time, coin squeeze, ace on top, thanks to Walton, 8-card brainwave, trouble backer, and B sisters. So all of that I fit into an hour and like a couple minutes because I started a little bit early, and like 2 or 3 minutes early, and I was like, "Hey, we haven't officially started the show yet, but here, let me just warm up." And then I showed them a couple of tricks, and they were like, like I showed them coin matrix first, and that was already mind blowing. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna be fun. I had people come up from the audience to do stuff, to pick cards, to sign cards, to choose a suit, to all sorts of things. Um, and yeah, the hour like flew by, and I had a lot of jokes. I had a lot of interactive questions like, "Is everybody having fun? Who's having a good day today? Everybody like the weather?" That kind of stuff. There was a good representation of young kids, but they were all like older young kids. If like how to describe that, they were like older than 8. So I was like, okay, this is perfect because like if they were young, I don't know if there were like a couple of younger kids, but it was not too bad. Andre says, "Yay!" So, all right, I do see a couple of tricks in the queue. So, but overall, yeah, the show went well. Um, Unlike some other gigs that I've had, I got paid right away, so that was great. Didn't have to wait or wait around or try and hunt down a check or anything. Which, by the way, I talked to some of my other magician friends, and like, um, sometimes it's not unheard of to wait like a month, maybe 6 weeks, because some like billing cycles for companies are like that long. But yeah, 10 weeks is just kind of crazy. Yay! Sounds like it was a good show. Yeah, excellent show. I'm actually going to tell you a little bit more about it shortly after the next trick. So let's do the next trick and then we'll talk more about it. Okay, all right. So first of all, here we have, and this was one of the tricks I did at the gig. So I actually asked specifically an adult. I basically called on kids to basically do everything except this one. I called an adult to come up because I wanted the adult to fully check. Oh, hold on. We're starting an ad break. I'm going to restart the trick to restart the trick after the ad break is over. Okay. Sorry, I forgot. I saw the message that the ad break was starting, but then I forgot it was going to happen. So I'll technically call it a mulligan, but like you know what? No, that's just a from the top. I mean, it's basically the same thing. So, but in either case, yes, I will start it over when the ad breaks over. But yeah, the show was fun. I had a great time. Yeah, I called on kids basically to come up for everything except for this trick. I had an adult examine all of the materials and be the eyes and ears of the audience. Everybody could see, like they could see on the screen, and they could see that I'm doing what I was doing on screen. But like, I think having an adult like up front really sold the trick. So the ads are over. Oh, the ads are over for you, Andres. Maybe not for everybody. Um, I also think that sometimes the ads are really inconsistent. So it depends on like if you've been hanging out on Twitch all day, if you've seen so many ads that they can't serve you anymore or anything like that. By the way, if anybody has been sitting around for a while and you're not hydrated, please feel free to hydrate. Oh, by the way, I got my brand new shipment of tea. So I've been running out of uh, herbal tea, and I finally got. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy some more. So sad news, I finished my batch of Indigo Punch. Good news, I bought more Indigo Punch, so I'll have that. That's not the one I'm having tonight, though. I'm having like a minty chamomile type tea tonight. So, but anyway, all right, cool. So now the ad break is over. Let's go ahead and begin this trick. Okay, so here we have uh, a metal tube. If I was to put these together, you can kind of see that there's nothing in there. So if I was to put like a pen through it or something, it will slide completely through. All right. However, if I take this $50 and we had our spectator, I had my spectator examine the tube and the $50 after I closed it up. And she basically, poked her finger in both sides. And then, of course, we had everybody count the quarters. So we had, let's make sure that you can see all that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, if I was to go ahead and just put all these quarters in, you would not expect any of them to be able to pass through the bottom, right? Where's my magic wand? I use my Sharpie as a magic wand. And I said, okay, well here, if you are curious about finding out how we get one of these to pass through, we'll go ahead and place them into the top. Use our Sharpie as a magic wand. 1, 2, 3. Or actually, I think I might have also snapped when I did it. So basically, by the end of the night, every magical moment was a snap. So I told all the parents, "Hey, if you discover your kid snapping, they're just trying to do magic. It's okay." And so, but look, one coin has passed right through, and so there we have the 3. Let's go ahead and take these 3, place them into the top. Use our magic wand. 1, 2, 3. And of course, one of them is going to pass right through. I know it doesn't make any sense, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these 2, place it into the top. Magic wand, 1, 2, 3. And one coin will pass right through. And if we take a look, there's one. And this is where this was super cool because I had the adult spectator place her hand underneath. And I said, all right, I'm going to go ahead and place this coin into the top, and you will feel it pass right through. Okay, and 1, 2, and 3. And she felt it, and the look on her face, which nobody else could see because she was facing me underneath the camera, so they saw the back of her head, but they saw this, and like her reaction was amazing. And so I had a, it was a very great time. And then of course I dismantled this right away. Hi Nam, welcome in JMV. How's it going? Oh yeah, and you can take a look. I handed this out, and that is Coin Squeeze. There we go. JMB, welcome in. How's it going, Bailey? Hi Nam. I always feel like I come in during the trick. Well, I don't know what to tell you. In this case, you can blame you can blame Andres because Andres requested it. So, but anyway, how's it going, Bailey? Good to see you. Guys, if you're not following our friend BayJMB, please give BayJMB a follow. BayJMB, a fellow magician, has also done some magic streams as well. I don't know if you've done any recently. Have you, Bailey? But yeah, BayJMB also a magician. So all right, last Tuesday I was live. Oh, okay. I see. So last Tuesday was when I was doing my magic gig. Um, last Tuesday evening, and then afterwards I was recovering. Yeah, it's no longer a coincidence. Yeah, so yeah, Tuesday is tough because Tuesday I almost reserve for magic stuff because Tuesday is when my local chapter of Society of American Magicians would meet once a month. So I do that, and then also um, I scheduled this past magic gig, this library show. So I basically did a 1 hour um, close-up show for the library, and it was a great success. So let me say that the next night, and this is where it's going to lead into the Bubble Man thing. So this Bubble Man is not referring to the Mega Man 2 boss. It's actually referring to a guy who goes around doing bubble shows for kids. I mean, for families, but all the kids love it. So the next night we went back. So on Wednesday night, it was me, my wife, and my kid. We went to back to the library, and instead of me doing magic, we watched Bubble Man perform Bubble Mania, which was basically a a guy who just plays with bubbles, but he's explaining like science concepts, um, and he's doing like crazy things like so he made spherical bubbles with like his own custom made bubble solution. They would last like way longer than your typical bubbles. He put mist inside some bubbles so that they would look like they're mist, and when they popped, so the mist would explode. He would make gigantic bubbles. He would actually put hydrogen inside some of the bubbles, so those bubbles, instead of them sinking, they would float. He actually made a cubic bubble. Oh my god, this is, hold on. This is so cool. I have to actually, let me see, wait, let me see what pictures I have to show you guys of this, because this was actually pretty cool. Hold on. I take a lot of pictures, so I do have to scroll back a little bit. Okay, okay, there we go, there we go. So that sounds awesome. Okay, so here's a picture of Bubble Guy doing Bubble Mania. He's holding a light to a bubble, and then here's a big bubble up top above his head. And then let me see here. Here's him putting in. So he's actually creating a small bubble inside of a larger bubble at that point, right here. That sounds awesome, says BJMB. Yes, it was actually pretty awesome. I didn't know what to expect, but like, um, one of my magic conventions that I've been to a while ago, one of the final acts they had was actually an international like bubble specialist, and basically she had done stuff like this, but like for adults and very artistic. And she would actually have like a screen that she would create like a bubble. Like it would basically just be like a bucket with like a string that would come up, and then it would create like a bubble canvas, and she would basically do things with it. So this kind of reminded me of that. This is like the family friendly version, and then the one that I saw was like the crazy international bubble insanity version. Here he is. He created like two big bubbles that were clear, and then he filled the smaller bubbles around the middle with mist. And then let me see here. And then he created a bubble caterpillar. So there's like alternating. I know you can't really see that well. If I could probably share these in the Discord later. So if I don't do it by next week, somebody can remind me. And then, oh, okay. So here's the coolest thing. He created a cubic bubble. You know, when you create a bubble, it's always spherical. Um, but in this case, so here he has this frame. Of course, the frame will create a cubic bubble, but then he actually broke some of the edges, so then the film went in diagonally. And hold on, let me see if I can zoom in onto this one really quick. Oh, no, this one's not clear. Hold on, let me go to the next one. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hopefully this one shows it really well. Okay, so inside here, and the picture isn't really doing it very great justice, but so he broke the edges so that there's one layer diagonally going in, and then there's actually a cubic bubble in there. And if you looked at it, if you know what the 3D projection of like a hypercube looks like, it looks like that, except it doesn't move or rotate like it, but like the in that bubble that's on the inside is a cubic bubble. And I was like, "Oh my god, that's so cool." Like, was he an S level magician? No, I don't think so. I think he was like a triple S level bubble expert. Like that's probably what it was. Checking the gaff meter. It says that's very cool. Very cool. Welcome in, checking the gaff meter. Good to see you. Happy Easter. How's it going? Um, and then the rest of the time was basic bubbles. Oh, the other thing that he did was at the beginning of the show, he created a bubble, and then he put that bubble inside of a closed container. And this is him. So he created the bubble a little bit before the show started, and then when his show ended, he brought it back over, and the bubble was still there. This bubble, he called it a like a senior citizen bubble. This bubble lasted for 48 minutes or something ridiculous like that. And as soon as he opened up the box, like once some of the air around it moved and touched it, it basically burst. And so I was like, "Oh, it's not a magic trick. It's legitimately a bubble." Like I was like, "Holy crap. It's so cool. It's so cool." I'm glad that I went, even though it's marketed towards the kids, because like all the jokes were like dad jokes, and of course, I appreciate those. Um, so, Jim Gaff Meter says, "Hello, no, I'm glad to hear about your T Stitch and your recent gig. Sounds great, awesome. Thank you for being here and hanging out, checking the Gaff Meter." Okay, all right. So I see the next trick. Let's go ahead and get ready to do that one. That was requested by Charlie's Beats. So let's go ahead and use the Ace 2 3 of spades. Okay, so here what we've got is oh, you know what? I'm just going to show you these anyway, and we're just going to lay them out. So all right, so we have the 3, we have the 2, and we have the ace. Now, if I take the ace, place it on the bottom, but we press the elevator button to have the ace travel from the bottom all the way back up to the top. I don't know if you can tell, but look, that ace has traveled back up to the top. Oh, great timing on that ding, Chan. And so here, let's go ahead and grab that 2. And look, we place the 2 on the top, but we press the down elevator button, and that 2 will travel from the top all the way down to the bottom. And now, if we take a look, it's now here. Jan, excellent timing on the second ding. Excellent. And now, finally, here with this 3, what we're gonna do is a little bit more interesting. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and place it into the middle of this right there. And if we just go ahead and close that up and we just press all of the buttons, we just pretend that there's buttons everywhere. Normally I do this with bicycle cards and there's two little circles in each one, but would you guys believe that it will arrive over here? There's the ding. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but if we take a look over here, the 3 of spades has just zipped over here using whatever mechanism that ding belongs to. That's right. And that, my friends, is 3 travelers, which, believe it or not, is the original trick that the 3 travelers trick is based on is called penetration. And I was just like, I can't call it trick that. But then after we did the whole, maximum penetration bit, I ended up just like, all right, I'm just going to put it on here. So I don't want to call the trick penetration by itself. I do want to have some context there. But anyway, that was, yeah. Yeah, says Andres. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, Andres, checking the gaff meter. Thank you guys. And thank you for all the dings, Chan the Magic Man. I'm going to go ahead and thank you kindly for the claps. Charlie's Beats. I kind of want to practice this one, so I'm going to put in Elevon. It's very similar to that trick. Andre says, those are forbidden spells. No, no. Oh, man. These spells come with a dose of sass. Oh, yeah, yeah. All right. I won't do this trick until after the ad break because I do see that the ad break warning is there at this point. So, um, okay. Ha ha. All right. Excellent. Okay. And then also after that, I'll have to talk about the magic lessons. Full disclosure, I'm not taking magic lessons. I might be providing magic lessons. That's the exciting part. I also have to sneeze. I probably didn't need to warn you about that, but okay. For anybody who, thank you, thank you, Chan. I've been blessed. I've been blessed by Chan the Magic Man. No wonder I'm so good at magic. It's because I've been blessed by Chan the Magic Man, right? Is that right? Thank you for blessing me, Chan. Without your magic, I would not have been blessed with magic. um, yeah, I suppose if you are subbed and you didn't get an ad break just now, I did mute, so nobody heard that, but you could see the look of sneeze on my face, like whatever that looks like. I'm Chan's like lol. Let's see here. So I've been trying to think about what I want to play because I'm not going to be playing Hades. I don't think forever indefinitely, but I will reach a point where I'm like, oh, okay, I feel like I've done everything that I want to do in Hades, and I won't want to necessarily play it anymore. But I think I've decided because I like roguelike games. I think I could do a rogue run before stream on Sundays if I ended up choosing that path. because there's a lot of roguelike games. So I could make it work, guys. I can make it work. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but all of my favorite games that I talk up are pretty much all indie games. Like all of the ones that I've talked about and played on stream, like Slay the Spire, indie game, Hades, indie game, uh, Keeper, indie game. Even though some of those studios are like bigger studios now, but like they're all none of them are like AAA titles. None of them are like huge, but box office, huge studio games or anything. I guess I don't really play those, right? I basically play, Sea of Stars, like as a good example. Anyway, okay, we're gonna do Elevon just so that people can see the similarities between the last trick and this trick. But I think when I first learned Elevon, I was like, oh, it's inspired by penetration, and then I learned another trick that was inspired by this one, which I don't do because it's actually a lot harder and I don't remember it all the time. So, but anyway, once again, we're starting with the ace two and the three again. And I lay the three here. I lay the two here. And sorry if you guys remember this from last week as well. But uh, so ace, we place on the bottom. We'll beam it up. We'll go from the bottom all the way up to the top. I don't know if you can tell, but the ace has actually hopped back up to the top. Place the two on the top. We'll beam it down. I don't know if you can tell, but look, it's going to go from the top all the way down to the bottom. And then, of course, we have our three right here. That's not our three. Hold on. There we go. There's our three. And what we're going to do is instead we place our three here, like into the middle of the deck, like this. And you can kind of see, so here you can see that the three is there, right? There's the three, okay. And it's actually like sticking out. Now we take the ace and the two, and we just place them like on the top here. And now as I push, I'm going to push down, I'm going to push in on that three. And as that three gets pushed in, like this, there's a card that will appear in between the ace and the two. It really is in between, because now if I spread, you'll see that there is a card in between the ace and the two. And if we take a look, it is indeed the three. And that is the slight difference between the last trick and this trick. But I think that the last part, that visual effect where it appears like in between, is like the best part, right? Andres, thank you kindly for the claps. Thank you for the applause. Appreciate it. All right. Once again, the queue is empty. If anybody would like to request any tricks, feel free. So I'm going to talk about magic lessons now. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, checking the gaff meter. And thanks for clearing that, Chan. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. So, magic lessons. So, I did give out some business cards, and I put up like my business card QR codes at the end of my magic show on Tuesday. And basically, within a couple of days, I got an email, and the email was from a mom that was asking, "Hey, do you give magic lessons to kids?" And I'm like, I've never done it before, but I could totally give your kids some magic lessons. And so we have discussed like a time, a date, a format. We haven't quite agreed on pricing, but I said, okay, let's do one like trial, like half an hour, and then we will see if they end up wanting to do more. Then then we can figure out how that works out. But I have a magic lesson booked basically, and we'll see how it goes. So anyway, that was so that's magic lessons. So these will be my first clients really for magic lessons. So it's actually pretty cool. I think the kids are like between the ages of like 7 and 11, and there's like two, maybe three kids. Um, so yeah, like I think the mom signed up like her two kids and then some either friends or nearby neighbors or something as well. I'm like, all right, I can do like a lesson for all three of them at the same time or so. Checking the gaff meter says that's awesome. Yeah, thanks. Checking the gaff meter. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's super exciting. Andre says that's incredible. You'll see, it'll turn out all right. Thanks, Andres. Let's see here. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm still like applying to jobs. I guess I was a little bit slow applying to jobs this week, so tomorrow I intend to apply to a bunch of jobs to kind of catch back up again. Um, but my next tech project is going to be creating a website for myself. And so um, the first thing it's got to do is be able to be a landing page for Nam the Magician. And so that's the basic thing it'll do. But you guys know I have a lot of hobbies and a lot of other stuff that I want to share. I haven't decided if I should have both the magic site and like a personal site, or I should just combine everything into one. But that's kind of what I'm debating right now. But also, for anybody who didn't hear, last week I officially announced that my Android app that I created is officially in the Android App Store, or sorry, it's officially in the Google Play Store. I can't say App Store because that's like Apple's thing. It's a good idea, says Andres. Yeah, the one big thing that all of the other magicians tell me is that, yeah, you should have a website because right now, if I get a gig through Gig Salad, they take a cut. But if they book me outside of Gig Salad, then I can just, you know, take the entire amount. Ricky Charms, welcome in. How's it going? If you say App Store 3 times in a mirror, it will show up behind you. Oh, guys, should I tempt fate? Should I wait, in a real mirror or can I use like selfie mode? All right, guys, here we go. We're gonna tempt fate. Ready? App Store, App Store, App Store. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Ricky Charms. Sorry, that was ridiculous. So, my friend that I was emailing back and forth, as I said, he's a fellow magician, but he hasn't done a show before. So I gave him access to the recordings of my first magic shows, which, by the way, I would never like share publicly at this point. But if anybody is super curious, especially magicians, I think it's like a really good learning opportunity to see like what I did like in my early shows, mostly like half an hour shows and stuff like that. But I told him because he did a lot of magic. He has the technical skills, but when he practices, he doesn't tell the story or say the script or do patter or anything like that. And I feel like that's one of the essential parts of magic. Unless you are doing something crazy only visual, which most of the time like stage magic can be presented that way. But I think if you're doing close up, um, it's very unless you just do close up for like social media, like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. I think the way to entertain people is you need to engage with them, and most of the time that means talking. There are some circumstances which you can engage with people without talking with them, but I feel like that's the primary way. And so yeah, that's my recommendation to anybody who wants to perform anything. Just do it, but engage with people, right? Because otherwise, what are you performing for? Like performing for social media is way different than performing for people. And I feel like I can talk to both because I've done both now. I've done it for the camera for many years. Like if you go back to my YouTube, you see how many tricks I put out there. Bay JMB says Steve Jobs is behind you. What? No, sorry, there's no Steve Jobs there. Andre says, I'm going to use an idea I saw online to get hired. I shared it in the meme section. Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. Hold on, let me see. Memes are funny things. Oh, I saw. I've seen this. Okay, so what Andres linked was a picture with like a third of the resume, and it's like, hire me to unlock my full potential. It's like it's great. Which, by the way, if anybody wants to hang out in the Discord, that's probably where I'll end up sharing things later. Anyway, um, okay, so yeah, so magic lessons that's coming down the pipe. Oh yeah, ultimately at the end of the day, if you want to be a magician, I would say you need to work on engaging and entertaining people. Like the magic can be secondary. I would argue that you don't have to be great at the magic. You do have to be great at making people like you and entertaining them. So if you make them laugh, if you make them think about stuff, if you make them wonder things, like those are all great ways to get them to, have an emotional response to remember. And if you do those things, even if your magic was kind of mediocre or bad, like you'll get hired as a magician again because you were entertaining, right? Um, it does help though if you are also good at magic because then you can kind of sell everything. All right, next up we have a trick requested by Chan the Magic Man. I think this was a random request, right? Michael Elevator. Okay, so here we've got three black spot cards, and then we've got the four kings. And what I want to do is let me go ahead and place the four kings face down out here. And then we're just going to go ahead and use the black spot cards as some cards that will descend on each king. And so this king is going to get swamped by, you know what? It's Easter, so this is one of the um, one of the plagues. So here's the what the first plague was. Maybe not the first plague. This is the plague of snakes, right? The snakes is going to descend upon this king, and so that king though knows how to get out, and so here that king will hop up to the top and will easily hop on out. Now this king, this one is going to be plagued by locusts, right? Is that so? This king is going to be plagued by locusts, and so here that king though will be able to escape the locusts, and so there we go. Now this king gets surrounded by, oh, I don't know if this is a plague, but gets surrounded by water and can't really get out, right? But actually that king is actually going to find a way to float atop all of the water and be able to get out. And then finally, this king, this is the king that's actually going to save all of the other kings. So this king, the king of hearts, will save all of the other kings with love and compassion. Because look, as that king flies over all of the other kings, he picks up all of the other kings, and all of the other kings are here, leaving all of the misfortunes and plagues in the dust. And that, my friends, is a like a plague themed Michael Elevator. Thank you for clearing that, Chan the Magic Man, and also thanks for that request. Thank you kindly for the claps, Andres. And thank you kindly for the claps, checking the gaff meter. Thanks for the applause. All right, there's Mike Elevator. All right, let's see. I can prep for the next trick. An ad break is starting soon, so I guess I'll just start telling the rest of the week story. So let's see here. My app went live. I announced it. That was great. I didn't get as big a reception as I was hoping, but the people that I know that were involved, everybody is currently enjoying the use of my app. So, and it's freely available for anybody on Android. So check it out. I linked it also in my Discord, so you can check that out. Let's see here. So for Easter today, gave my kid Easter basket, a bunch of books, hunted for some eggs, went over to the aunt and uncles, like my kid's aunt and uncles, and hung out, had brunch. It was also my mother-in-law's birthday, so celebrated that. Um, and yeah, it was a nice day. And then after that, put together some chairs, or put together a chair. My wife bought some chairs for outside and put them together. And then I continued doing demolition in my basement. So I'm in the process of clearing 2 closets and a wall to consolidate a hallway into. So it was like 2 closets and a hallway into one storage room, and now it's all just going to be one gigantic storage room. Um, and so yeah, I did injure myself a little bit, but it's not too bad. But I'm okay. Importantly, I didn't hurt the hands. The hands is what I'm doing magic with. It was up here on the arm. So I'm all right. I'm all right. Okay, let's go ahead and find. Uh, let's get ready for Pink Floyd. 90-second ad break is starting now. Once again, if anybody is sitting around, you have not hydrated, please feel free to hydrate. And okay, we're gonna make sure that we're set up properly. Oh yeah, and I need to. I always start it with the note too. Hold on, we're gonna start with the note. Okay, thanks for getting that hydrate, Chan. Yeah, so one of the things that I was trying to evaluate was like I asked some of my magician friends about how long a gig that they've ever done, and one of my other magician friends said that the longest gig that he's done was a 3-hour gig, and he basically did like 3 shows basically, so 3 40-minute shows, but the show is basically the same show each time. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And so I'm in this weird position where I'm like, do I need to make a set, like a magic set? Like, I know all of my tricks on my trick list down pat, and I know that it will take 4.5 hours to go through all of them at like a pace that's like, and so it's like, oh, I could fill that time, or I could just, I mean, I could also go slower. Like, I could use the same number of tricks and just show fewer tricks, but engage more, that kind of thing. So, all right, the ad break is finishing now. So, let's go ahead and start with Pink Floyd. The trick, the trick. So, guys, I found this note. To whom it may concern, these 4 jokers are haunted and will not want to give up the eggs. Oh, they're somehow aware that it is Easter. A word of warning, do not place these jokers back to back. Huh. So, hold on. Let's take a look. How many cards do we have here? We've got 4. Okay. Let's check out what we've got over here. We've got 4 jokers. Okay. So the note said that we should not place the jokers back to back. So here, if I place this joker back to back with this one, what? Oh, wait, this, no, not this one. Okay. So this one though, this one. Okay, next up. So now let's go ahead and place this one back to back with this one. Let's see what happens. Ooh. This one? Nope. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. You know what? We need to do like a science experiment, right? So here we've got these two. Ricky Charm's mind blown. Andres is like, what? So look, we have two jokers. And so here's what I want to do. Let me go ahead and place the jokers front to face because the warning was only back to back. So let's place them face to face, and then I want to see if anything happens. Anything happen? No, these still look pretty normal. But actually, what if I was to place them back to back now? Is there anything going to be... Oh! Wait. Ooh! Huh. So, hold on. Wait a second. How do we... Hold... Oh, wait. Huh. That's interesting. Hold on, wait. We need to figure out what happens if we now place the red ones back to back. Something happen? Oh. Oh. Huh. Huh. Okay. Well, they're now back to being blue. That, my friends, is, I'll call it a successful performance of Pink Floyd. With a little like confusion acting in there, but that's how I would present it. Thank you kindly for the emotes for the mind blowns, Ricky Charms and Andres. What? What is this? I know. Is that crazy? And here's the amazing thing. Shh, I didn't show you this, but here, this is how thick the packet is. It's basically some people think, "Oh, that's like what there's like 18 cards in there." No, no, there's not. It's very simple. Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody I showed you the thickness. Thank you kindly for the claps, Andres, Chain the Magic Man, and thank you for the applause. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, so that one I had originally put on my YouTube channel, and uh, I didn't really know the correct attribution information, and so it was not correct. And the thing is, everybody else who did this trick also quoted the one or two wrongly attributed videos, so I thought it was a completely different trick. But then I found out the real information, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I have to correct it. But this shows you how difficult it is to correctly attribute magic tricks. So yeah. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen that one, I like that one. This is a good one. When I saw it, I was like, what? I need to learn that. And then I did. And then here we are. Okay. Andre says, I couldn't see anything. It was all blurry. I haven't reached the necessary level to learn that spell yet. Yeah, it was super cool as I was going through like Magic the first couple of years, and I'm like, oh, I saw how to do that. I saw that trick. Oh, that's too hard for me. And then I come back to it like a year later, and I'm like, wow, I could do this trick. Oh, it's not that hard. And I was like, yes. So like I could see the level of growth in myself, like as I was progressing, and I'm like, man, this is so cool. See, next up we have a request from Andres. This is called Hourglass, and it is an original of mine. And for anybody who knows the methodology behind achieving this magical effect, the sleights that are used in this trick are my favorite type of sleight. And so you'll see me heavily use it in this trick, if you could pick it out, I guess. Okay, so here we've got 8 cards, and I'm gonna, so 4 and 4, and I'm gonna lay them down so that we have 2 piles of them, okay? And so we're just gonna go ahead and place them here like this, and so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what we're going to do is let's go ahead and turn it so that this is down for the hourglass for you, and this is up. And so when we have it like this, the sand from the top of the hourglass will go down to the bottom. And so before we knew that this was 4, but if I show you, this is now 1, 2, 3. And if we take a look down here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'm gonna do this as slow as I can. What if I just go ahead and I swap it? And so now the sand will be going from here down there. So if we give it a second, this 5 now becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no, no. We have to give it another second. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. See, now the sand is consistent. Now there should be 4 down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, excellent. But now if we wait some more of that sand will go from here down there. And we go 1, 2, 3. So now there's 3 sand up here. And down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But actually, if you believe that that's the case, there really is that amount of sand in each section, because there really is 3 sand up here and 5 sand down here. And that is my trick, Hourglass. Thank you for clearing that, Chan. Thank you kindly for the claps, Andres. Chan the Magic Man. Thank you for the applause, Andres. Appreciate it. Hopefully you guys liked it. Yeah, it's hard coming up with tricks and being like, this is an original trick. Nobody's done it before. And I'm like, there was not necessarily a reason why anybody would have or should have done that or done something like that before, but I feel like it's original enough, and there was nothing out there that looked like it, so I'm like, all right, I feel comfortable calling that mine. That's basically mine. Thank you kindly for the claps. Checking the gaff meter. Okay, let's see here. All right. Next up, we have Invisible Hands. Here, let me introduce you to the 4 kings. What we've got here is the King of Diamonds, the King of Clubs, King of Hearts, King of Spades. And what we're going to do with these 4 kings is that we're going to try and do something interesting. So here what we've got is the kings. Now I just want to have 1 card melt from this side to this side. See, from 3 to 1. So ready? If I just shake my hands, you'll see 1 melt away, and the other one, it travels over here. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? And that's okay. Let's go ahead and we'll do that one more time. And so here we have 2 and 2. And now, look, if I just shake my hands, 1 will melt from one side, and then it'll slowly appear on the other side. You can kind of see the moment that it happens, right? Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Yeah. What, says Andres? I know. What? That's crazy. All right. So, but look, yeah, yeah. So, you know that the kings were here, right? And so, but actually, I did make a mistake. The mistake was that if, so Charlie's Beats requested this, and I normally like to use the person's card that they signed if they had signed it, right? And so maybe instead of using the kings, I should have actually used the the four aces. And so here we have all four aces, and Charlie's Beat signed ace of spades, and there we have it. And that is my handling of invisible hands. Not quite the original, but so the way that the original person does it is way more flashy than mine. So if you guys ever look up like invisible hands in this guy's name, way better than me, way more stylistic. But I like the way that I do it, and it's also simple and reliable. I think if I was trying to do it the fancy way, I would mess it up a lot more. So Andre says, "What?" Thank you kindly for the claps and the applause. Chen the Magic Man, Andres, checking the gaff meter, Charlie's Beats. And thank you for that request, Charlie. Let's see here. Thank you for the applause. Andre says, either you're as fast as the Flash or you learned a teleportation spell. Oh yeah, no, look. It's way impossible to be as fast as the Flash. So obviously it's the teleportation spell. Obviously. I swear to you, it is a teleportation spell. Yup, that's absolutely. Shh, you didn't hear that. That was obviously a teleportation spell. Just shh, shh, shh. Quiet it down. Quiet it down. Shh. Thank you for the mind blown, Andres. All right. Ad break is starting soon, and then queue is empty. If anybody would like to request, feel free. Now is a good time. Um. Oh, wait. Can I outrace? Can I outrace the ad break? Okay, hold on. All right, we're gonna outrace the ad break. Okay, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Four coins, four cards, right? And then here, ready? One, two, three. One, two, three. One, two, three. There you go. Okay. Did I beat the ad break? I think I beat the ad break. That probably looked a little rushed, and maybe it was not so so subtle, but I'll go ahead and do that again after, but maybe at a normal speed, and we'll do it the normal way. Andre says, so when I can't find my pair of socks, could it have been a wizard with a teleportation spell? What? Speed run. Yeah, speed run. Yes, absolutely a teleportation spell. Shh, shh, shh. Absolutely a teleportation spell. Yes. Shh, shh. Keep it quiet over there. I don't want to spoil the surprise of it being real technology. Shh. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Man. 90-second at man. That was a good speed run right there. I speed ran that. We did it. We did it, everybody. Okay. You know, it's been a while since I've evaluated the sound alerts. I should probably put more in. I actually I get surprised sometimes because there were some sound alerts that I put like and I didn't make available unless like I guess bits were used, mostly because I think at the time I filled up the slots. I think since then they've expanded the number of slots and I never went back to expand what was available. So I should probably see what else we can add. Some of those could be pretty fun. I should probably also think about it from the perspective of the trick itself. So see how we can do that. But yeah, let's see here. I know it's a little early to look at raid targets, but sometimes I'm just like, oh, who's on? Let's check it out. This is probably the first time that I've actually looked at it, like well before we were gonna raid. Okay, the ad break is finishing. All right. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get credit for the coin matrix twice. Actually, wait, can I put two in the... Yes, I can put two in there. All right, so we did one already. Okay, and that was the speed run version. Okay, now we're gonna do the normal the normal speed version. All right, ad break is ending. So here we go, and we're using bigger coins because I was like, oh, where are my bigger coins? I'm like, oh, okay. I feel like the bigger coins look nicer. So 4 coins, 4 corners, 4 cards. Cover each coin with a card. And then we're going to go ahead and make each coin teleport from corner to corner. Happens very quick. Don't blink. Now that you guys know how quickly it can happen, make this one go from one to another. And then next, we have this, or sorry, last. Mark Ride says, you can map different B emote or emote combos to sound or just phrases. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, let me look into that. That would be pretty cool, I think. Let's see. Stream notes. Alright, I'm going to make a note of this. Alright, thanks, Mark Rides. Different emotes? Okay, yeah. Alright, and then we're going to be doing so that's the regular coin matrix. Now we're going to do the cardless version, which is basically just using the coins and no cards, but my hands instead. So we make the same rectangle, and oh, I see Mark Rides has requested Fantastic Four. Excellent. Hands are empty, and so here, let's go ahead and it's 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, 3 over here, one over there, and 4. And then we've been finishing with the finale. I can't say new, but it's we've done it enough times that here we go. So how we do this part of the trick is we have to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And that, my friends, is the cardless coin matrix. Andre says, "What?" There's this magician. His name's Jeremy Tan, and he ends all of his magic tricks basically online. It's like his tagline now. It's like, "What?" That's how he ends his things. That was a cardless coin matrix. Thank you kindly for the claps, Charlie's Beats, and thank you for the what, Andres. And then next up we have a request from Mark Rides for the Fantastic Four trick, which is one of my first original tricks. And actually, Mark Rides helped instigate getting this on my trick list when I wasn't sure if I should have it on there. So, thank you, Mark Rides. Andre says, I think these are my favorite magic tricks. I mean, I'm glad that you love these magic tricks. I think that there's room for lots of favorites. Like, I do mostly card magic, but you might find, like, some other kinds of tricks that I don't do that can also be your favorite. Like, if I ask somebody, hey, what's your favorite song, right? Most of the time, a lot of people have more than one favorite song. And, that's fine. Like, I don't think this one song is going to be offended, with this other one or whatnot. I would like to think that, if anything, I might be your favorite close up magician. That's probably, because, like, first of all, how many close up magicians do you know? You probably don't know many. The ones that are super famous, a lot of them aren't close up, they're like stage magicians, right? So, so hopefully I can take that. And then maybe Asian magician. I know there's some other famous Asian magicians, but not everybody knows all of them, right? And anyway, all right, here we are. So, all right. I have a packet of cards, and pretend the cards is not just a packet of cards, but it is a spaceship. It's a spaceship going up into outer space, and it is a spaceship that holds four individuals. They are Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. And they're going to investigate an anomaly. But when they investigate an anomaly, they all happen to mutate and get some powers. And so each one of these cards will represent somebody different. And in this case, we start with the two of clubs. Now, the two of clubs is going to represent Reed Richards, and Reed Richards is going to get the power. And what power is he going to get? He's going to get the power to stretch beyond what he could normally stretch. And so if I pull at the top and the bottom of him, we can see that he is being stretched quite a bit, well beyond the length of a regular person. And actually, he's going to get good enough that sometimes he'll be able to hold that pose just for a little bit. See? He can even hold it just like that. But not for too long because it's a new power. And so he's like, oh, I can't hold it anymore. And so he has to collapse, collapse back to his normal shape, um, which is super weird to say out loud, but alas, I've said it. Okay, next up we have the Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts is going to represent Sue Storm, who will become known as the Invisible Woman. Now, the Invisible Woman, can you guess what her power is? The most known one is becoming invisible. She has other powers, which are super cool, like force fields and shields and things like that. I don't know why those didn't get more features, because invisible is slightly less awesome as those. But anyway, Invisible Woman is what she's known as, and she can turn invisible, but only when she wants to, because she won't turn invisible when I want her to, because she's got personality and she will become invisible when she wants. Now, if I tell her, "Hey, Sue, can you come back now?" She doesn't want to come back because she just wants to stay invisible for a while, and I don't know when she's gonna come back, but she eventually will come back, and so here she is. Mark Ryan says, since it's Easter, what's the chances that Ben Grimm can hold a chocolate bunny or Easter basket? Oh. If I thought of this ahead of time, mm, maybe more than zero. But right now, I don't have. Yeah. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Oh no, but by there I mean right now, because guys, the next person we're talking about is Ben Grimm. Now Ben Grimm is going to be represented by the Eight of Diamonds, And if we have a regular Joe Schmo, represented by this Joker, um, let's see here. Okay, give me a second. Let's see if I can find a prop. I'm probably not. Wait. Hold on. It may look like I'm searching for something on my phone. No. I'm trying to materialize an Easter basket. Hold on. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, but this is a massively heavy Easter basket. So if you ask any Joe Schmo to try and hold this massively heavy Easter basket, they won't be able to. However, if you ask Ben Grimm to hold that massive Easter basket, all, 20,000 calories worth of candy and chocolate in there, he'll be able to hold on to it. See? See, look at how big this basket is. It's gigantic. Look, it's overflowing. There's multiple things outside that they couldn't fit inside of the basket. That's how big the basket is, right? And yes, Ben Grimm has gained the strength of many men, and therefore can hold the Easter basket. Now, next up we have last up we have Johnny Storm. I'd say last but not least. But to be fair, I think the original character. Anyway, you know what? This is not social content. I'm going to tell the story. This is Johnny Storm. He's going to be represented by the Seven of Spades. But actually, he can light himself on fire. So all he has to do is say "flame on," and then actually he becomes a fiery red version of himself. But then when he's done, he has to go flame off, and actually when he flames off, he becomes a very smoky version of himself. Yeah, super weird, huh? And so they all get back down to Earth, and Reed Richards somehow becomes the leader and says, "Hey, we should use our powers for good." And so they create the Fantastic Four, and that is Fantastic Four Easter Edition, I guess. I will say that a Rubik's cube is actually lighter than my phone. My phone is actually heavier than the Rubik's cube. Thank you kindly for the claps, Andres. Checking the gaff meter. Thank you kindly for the emotes. Charlie's Beats. Charlie's Beats got the Fantastic Four emote right there, or the force field one. All right, let's see here. When I first created that trick, I never intended on doing it multiple times, so I was like, I never had to reset it. And then once I started doing it for stream, and I'm like, I know exactly where these cards go to reset. And I'm like, yes. um, thank you kindly for the claps. And Mark Ride says Rubik's cubes hold a lot of air. Did you know that they float in water? I think if you had asked me if a Rubik's cube would float or sink, I would probably have said I don't know, but I would have probably guessed that they would float at least for a while, and then like to me, because I'm pretty sure that not everything is airtight in the thing. So as it slowly filled up, so maybe it would float for a while until all of the chambers somehow got like saturated or like water flowed in. I guess it really depends also on what cube, because some of these cubes are not airtight, but some of them might be. So, but yeah, that's kind of a good question, or a good like thought experiment. If you submerge them, they rise to the top. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, thank you for this heat map. Whoever gave me this heat map, delicious. Tastes like teen spirit. No, I'm just kidding. All right. And that was Fantastic Four. Thanks for that request, Mark Rides. Says Andres. All right. Next up, we have a request from Charlie's Beats. An ad break is starting soon. Mark Wright says, I dove in a pool with one released it underwater and rose at the top of the pool and floated. Awesome. Right, but would it if you left it there for hours, would it still float after many hours? Is I guess my question. Okay. Wait, should I try and speed run Hellman's Aces? Okay. All right. Guys, first things first. We have the Jokers. The Jokers are going to help us cheat, and they're going to help us cheat by finding a bunch of cards. Let's go ahead and mix this up. And look, the Joker's going to find some card because they're going to help us cheat. And so, look, boom, boom, boom. Look, a card gets pulled out of the deck, and look, that card happens to be an ace. And now, look, we can do this again, but we can do it long distance. And so I don't know if you can tell, but look, long distance, 1, 2, 3, and I don't know if you can tell, but look, they just found another one. Now some people think that the Jokers have to do it face up, but maybe we can have them do it face down. And so let's go ahead and turn their face down. Boom, and look, they've found another. In this case, the ace of diamonds, and then finally, last one, boom, they can find one more ace, and this ace is going to be the ace of spades. Charlie's signed ace of spades because Charlie requested Hellman's Aces. And that, my friends, I will say, is the speed run version of Hellman's Aces. Did I do that too fast? Did I do that fast enough? I know I beat the ad break, so. It also helps me practice, like, if I have to, like, get through a trick quick, like, which ones I can choose and do. So, um, all right. If that one was not satisfactory, feel free to request it again, and I will do it again. I thought it was fine from like a speed and execution perspective. 90-second ad is starting. All right, there we go. Beat the ad break. Yes. This is like so there's a Hades like hard mode restriction thing where it's like it gives you a time limit. So I almost feel like the ad breaks are like, "Hey, here's a time limit." So we can do it before the ad break. So it's handy to kind of have that warning. Thanks for this heat map. Delicious. Delicious, delicious heat maps. Okay. Let's see. This next one, I think we can theme as an Easter thing, right? I think that makes sense. I will, of course, wait for the ad to be over. Checking the gaff meter says, Nom, time for me to retire. Thanks as always for the great magic. All right, checking the gaff meter. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Uh, remember, sleep well. Take care. Good to see you checking the gaff meter. Hopefully, you had a wonderful Easter and you sleep well. And thank you so much. Andres says, It was great. Now I'm back on the floor. Says Andres. You too, says checking the gaff meter. And then Mark Rides asks, Is that an Adams Family game behind you? The black box titled Wednesday? Oh, the answer is it is a Wednesday, um, like the character from Adams Family. It's based on the TV show on Netflix. So yes, I had gotten it with the intent of maybe doing some tricks about Wednesday, and I think we've when I showed it off, I did one, but I haven't done much with it since. Because also I haven't watched much of the Wednesday show. So yeah, here's the box. Actually, hold on, we're gonna interrupt for a second. We're gonna show off this box, and so the cards are basically like tarot-sized cards, And so if we take a look, the backs are all this, but yeah, it's Wednesday from the Addams Family, but based on the Wednesday, I think, is it Netflix show? And here's what the faces look like. And so here's like I'd done something I think that used like the fact that these were black cards and then these were like lighter cards. But yeah, so here's kind of what the cards look like. I haven't even read the rules for what the card game's supposed to do, but I was just like, okay, I need to figure out. Like, I would probably want to watch the show. I don't even have to watch the whole show. I could just watch like a handful of episodes and maybe like get inspiration or something. But I hadn't. But I picked it up because the box was on sale at Target, and I'm like, all right, how big are they? Man, these are big cards. All right, I'll get it because they're like tarot cards. So, let's see here. Looks very nice, says Andres. Yeah, yeah. So I buy cards now, not just for the owning of cards, but for the potential of doing magic tricks with them. And so, yeah, there we go. But yes, this is a Wednesday the card game based on Wednesday. The show Wednesday is from the Addams Family. Correct. All right, where were we? Oh yes. So here I have one, two, three cards in my hand, and actually these are not cards. These are this is the environment in which the kids are going to be looking for eggs because Easter, so they're egg hunting, and so one of the kids ends up looking around the environment and happens to find one of the eggs. Here, here is one of the eggs. There's an egg of clubs. And then this other kid, oh, wait, wait. So here's the environment again, one, two, three. But look, this other kid is going to find another egg right here, the egg of diamonds. And then another kid looks around in the environment, one, two, three, happens to find another egg, and that egg just materializes. And so here in the environment, though, once all of the kids ravage the environment looks like it has eroded a little bit. Because if you take a look, those three cards no longer look like three cards, they look like two cards. Right? And however, if at the end of the day everybody takes home everything that they get and you happen to go and look at their baskets at the end of the day, I don't know if you can tell, but all you can find inside the baskets are all of the eggs, and there's no. Hopefully, they didn't take any of the environment with them. Hopefully, they didn't take any of the trees or the bushes or the sand or the parts of the playground home with them. That you only see baskets filled with eggs. And that is an Easter version of Interactive Opener. All right. Let's see, next up we have. Thank you kindly for the claps, Andres, and the applause, and thank you for that request, Andres. Let's see here. And I see Mark Rides has requested the vampire card trick. Okay. And you know what? We'll theme this one as an Easter one as well. Okay. So here we have and a 1, a 2, and 3, and our uncle. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and our uncle. these 1, 2, 3 don't represent victims like they would normally would. In this case, they represent our pieces of candy. And so our uncle that we went to our relative's house, the uncle decides, hey, I want a little bit of the kid's candy. And so the uncle happens to eat a piece of the kid's Easter candy. Not just the candy, but also the wrapper. I know, super weird. Maybe he thought it was um, maybe rice paper wrapping, and so he could eat the whole thing. But no, he ate the entire thing. Just swallowed it whole like a snake. And so here is the a second piece of candy and a third piece of candy, and then of course our uncle wants to have some more candy, and so he sneaks over to get some more candy from the kid's candy bowl, and he happens to sneak the second piece of candy. Not just that one, but also like it was a lollipop. So there was like a lollipop stick that now has been eaten as well. Super weird. I don't know what kind of uncle this is, but and then finally the third piece of candy, the uncle is like, "Hey, I'm just going to eat that piece of candy." He snatches it out of one of the kids' hands, snatches it out really quick because I don't know if you can tell, but look, now that piece of candy is gone. There's no traces of it on the kid's hand. I know, this uncle is very cruel. And so this uncle knows that at this point he'll get in trouble, and so he needs to make an excuse. And he says, hey everybody, I have to go home. I have to go get ready for a Twitch live stream. And so he disappears after eating all of the candy so he doesn't get in trouble with anybody else. Can the third piece be enchanted and make the uncle vanish and the candy return? Oh, that's super interesting. Let me think about that. Let me think about that. Hmm. Hmm. I think I think for you guys, we could do that, but I don't think I would want to do that for the impact of the magic. Because as soon as we do that once, I think everybody will know the method of the trick. Hmm, yeah. Let me ponder on that. Maybe we'll do an alternate version or something if I can come up with something like that. Interesting idea though, Mike writes. Interesting idea. Let me see. We will make a note. We will make a note. Okay, let's see here. Thank you kindly for the claps and the applause. Andres, crazy. I just had an idea. It would be fun to add recommendations that make you perform a magic trick either very quickly or very slowly. Oh, so like a redeem? Oh yeah. I mean, I already know what the redeems would be called, right? Speed run and slow mo. All right. Yeah, yeah. Let me see here. Speed run. I'm gonna note this down too while I have the notepad open. Slow mo redeems. Haha, yes. So, yeah, that's actually yeah. I mean, I sometimes already do that, right? Like just for fun. But some of those times have been like hilarious times. I would say almost all of the time when I've done that, somebody has clipped or something. So that worked out. Yeah, yeah. That's actually a good idea. I think, you know what? Because I would already do them, like, that's almost a no-brainer. I should probably just add those. I guess there's some tricks that I couldn't do, like, really slow. Like, for example, if I was to do the snap change, right? Hold on. So, like, here, I mean, I'm trying to do this particular trick fast all of the time. Because if I was to do this slow-mo, it's basically going to be like, I mean, I've done that. I've done it. There's like, and then I even show you like because so the fast mode is even the normal way for this. Nope, that's not it. Man, it's not working right now. So that's the fast mode, but then to do it slow mo, it's like, yeah. Sorry, you guys got a free glimpse at. I mean, it's not like I haven't given that one away before. That one I give away maybe like every other week, probably. Yeah, I think there's some tricks that I might not feel comfortable doing that. Would have to figure out which ones they are, but yeah, I don't think having the redeems really affects. I can just yeah, we can figure that out. All right, let's see here. Next up, we have a request from Andres. Thanks for the request, Andres. One-eyed Jack sandwich. So here, uh, let's go ahead and select a card. It doesn't really matter, actually. Uh, Andres, are you on desktop? You can click directly on the screen. Please select any one of those. That will be the card selected. And if you're not on desktop, let me. Oh, okay. All right. I see. I see one. I think that is the three of hearts right here. So here we go. It's signed by eRoom, so we know that it is a unique card. Now we have our two jokers over here. I normally like to do it with the jokers because the two jacks. I mean, anyway, the important thing is that these two jokers can travel through time. And look, I'm going to go ahead and place a card in between the two jokers. The important thing is there's one card that we know that can't possibly be here right now, right? It's this one. This is the one that we can't possibly. Hold on, I'm going to eat this heat map while we're here. Delicious. Okay. And so we do have one card in between the two jokers, and we know that it can't possibly be this one. So we're going to go ahead and cut these two jokers into the middle of the deck. Now, they're not time traveling yet because if they time travel, they want to get somewhere very specific. And so here we know that they're not kind of near the top. And if I show you, it's not really near the bottom here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take the three of hearts, place it on the bottom, and we will go ahead and cut it into the middle of the deck. Just like this. Now those two jokers will have the chance to time travel back in time and get a different card to put in between them. And now, if I show you, I'm going to spread the cards. There is a card in between the two jokers. That's not surprising because I put a card there. But what card couldn't it have been? The one card that they traveled back in time to get is indeed our Three of Hearts, signed by eRoom. And that, my friends, is the one-eyed Jack sandwich, but it's done with jokers and time traveling story, which I almost do. I almost do the time traveling story all the time now. Thank you kindly for the applause and the mind blown, Andres. Yeah, because everybody loves time travel, and so like I could do the trick like with the regular. It's like, hey, do you guys believe that the one-eyed jacks they can get your card? And it's like I don't feel like that's that magical because they're talking to a magician and the magician will do that. And so it's like, no, no, you're talking about time travel. And everybody's like, what? Time travel? And then it opens it up for me to do the trick, not the trick, to tell the joke. It's like, oh, yeah, did you guys know that we're traveling through time right now? We are all traveling at a rate of 1 second per second into the future right now. And so, yeah. And I did this trick and I did that joke for the magic show on Tuesday too. And that went very well, I would say. Got a lot of laughs. All right, 90-second ad has begun. Let me clear this. And then, all right, let's go ahead and I'm going to do last call. So if anybody would like to see any more magic, feel free to request and we'll go from there. Okay. I am also getting a little bit tired. Normally I wouldn't have been, but because I did like all day Easter stuff today. I had a pretty productive day overall, I'd say. Um, oh yeah, also I forgot to mention that I got a Facebook message today randomly, and it was somebody offering a magic gig, and I was like, oh. And so they must have heard of me from, I don't know if it's from somebody who actually came to the Tuesday show, but I feel like the timing is so coincidental. Like, how could it not, right? Like, so no, that was my thought process. So I don't know if it came directly from that as a like a reference, but that'd be what I think. Okay, we've got a couple of requests in the queue. So let's go ahead and get ready for those. Okay. And then let's see. The ad break is finishing. Excellent. Let's go ahead and find, what do we add? McDonald's Aces. Yeah, this one has a lot of names. So, all right. So let me go ahead and here. So this trick, I'm going to need to pull out all of the aces here. Okay, so here we've got all four aces, and then with these aces, we are going to go ahead and lay them out. And I'm going to go ahead and place Lindsay Harvey, welcome in. I'm going to need to pull out was my nickname in high school. Welcome in, Lindsay Harvey. How's it going? Cross the line, sorry. Guys, we're not following our friend Lindsay Harvey. Lindsay Harvey, also a magician, but streams variety games on Twitch. So definitely give Lindsay Harvey give him a follow. Um, but anyway, welcome in. How's it going? All right. Where were we? Oh yeah, we're gonna go ahead and leave. So we're gonna grab 3 cards, place it on top of each pile, like so. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and grab this ace, and we're gonna make it disappear. Because now, look, if I show you, there's actually no ace there. And let's see. So this ace, let's go ahead and do something with this ace. So if I go ahead and I place this here, you can still see the ace right now. But now we're going to blow it away. Because now look. That ace is gone as well. And now let's also, you'll still be able to see it right here. But actually now, if I just make it completely disappear, not only that, I've even made the card disappear because there's only 3 cards here now. And you're probably wondering where the aces are? Well, here they are. And that is a, I'm going to say, slightly scuffed version of McDonald's aces. There was one thing that I was a little bit unhappy about, and then I did improvise the ending a little bit. So, props to anybody who saw the little thing that made me unhappy about it. But I think we can call that one a boss trick for next time because of that little, the one little presentational thing slash if any magicians were watching. Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody what you saw. Shh, shh, shh. It's a secret. Shh, shh. Okay. All right. I just noted it for next time for boss tricks. Okay. All right. Here we go. Oh, okay, yep. So Lindsay Harvey saw it. Yes, I saw it too, and I was like, oh, so yeah, I know. I feel you, man. I feel you. So that's why it's going to become a boss trick. If you guys don't know what a boss trick is, yeah. All right. Yep. The thing is, it's like if I just do the each phase exactly the same, then it's like it's a little boring. But like I'm not familiar enough with doing that one phase all the time, so I'm like, okay. I just kind of winged it. But thank you kindly for the claps, Andres, and the applause. It's okay. The stream, this is a safe place, number one. Number two, it's super late, so I don't know who. I mean, there's obviously a bunch of magicians, and everybody else that I think is in stream in chat is a regular. So safe space here. It's good to push though. Yeah, yeah, to push through because the other thing is like when I'm practicing a trick for like YouTube or something, I I will sometimes end early, but it's never when I get to the trick. I will end early if I say something that I like like during my intro. Guys, you would not believe how many times when I mess up a YouTube video during my intro and I'm like that's not how I wanted to say the intro. I basically will cut it all the time in the intro. But once I start performing the trick, I pretty much almost always complete the trick all the way to the end because it gets me good like extra free practice, right? And so um yeah. Always just finish the trick, even if you know. And honestly, here's the thing: if anybody saw anything here, I almost assure you, in real life, it would have flown under the radar of many people. And so you can get away with a lot more stuff in real life. It's yeah. Lindsay Harvey says, "I support it." Thanks, Lindsay. But also, Andres, you found a boss trick. Well done. See, we need to weed those out so I know what to practice. Yeah, because we burn in the screen. Yeah, because like also I also put my VODs up where like I let them be up. Like easy thing for me to do, not leave the VODs up. But like I don't know, somebody's gonna have to go through. How long have I been streaming? like over 2 hours to get to this point. Like we're almost at the end. Um, and also technically I streamed Hades before this and I cut the stream, so technically I've been streaming for longer than that. All right, next up we have Hair Razor. All right, here we go. Yeah, I try and make like YouTube a little bit more burnable, but like I don't know, live stream also, unless you're like clipping or rewinding. I know that rewinding became like a new thing, but on Twitch. All right, so we have Ace 2 and 3. I've got a couple of cards that are going to help me out here. And so these couple of cards are the two jokers, and what I want to do with these two jokers is let me grab the ace here, and if I place the ace on the bottom, if I snap once, that will make the ace hop back up to the top. Now if I take the 2 and I place the 2 here at the bottom, if I snap twice, that will make the 2 hop back up to the top. Now if I take the 3 and I place the 3 at the bottom, I have to snap 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and that will make the 3 jump back up to the top. Now, once somebody was like, hey, that trick's a little bit too slow. Can you do it faster? Sure. I'm going to go ahead and place this on top of the 3, and the 3 hops back up to the top. Just with one snap. Same thing with the 2. One snap, that hops back up. The ace, just snap, that hops back up. And so everybody thinks that the two jokers are actually the magical things, but actually I would argue that the ace 2 and the 3 are the magical things here, because look, let me just go ahead and leave the ace 2 and the 3 down here. We don't need the jokers now, but if we cut somewhere, if you were here, you could legitimately say stop. So let's say stop right there. And the thing is, if the jokers were the ones that are magical, then we wouldn't be able to do anything magical with these at this point. But if I just show you that, so let's see, where did we cut to? We cut to a king. All right, so here we have a king, and if instead, if the ace 2 and the 3 were magical, we can change the ace 2 and the 3 to become the other kings. And that, my friends, I will call a successful performance of Hair Razor. Thank you kindly for the claps. Andres, Charlie's Beats, and Andres for the emotes. Ah! And Mind Blown. Andres, are a lot of these tricks blowing your mind tonight? Is that. Alright. Yes, says Andres. Well, I'm glad that I could blow your mind. Has anybody ever seen Power Thirst? Power Thirst! Alright. Okay. So. What do I want to do for a finale tonight? I think we're going to get ready to wrap up stream here. Magic tricks are amazing, says Andres. I'm happy you think so, and I hope that I helped in having you think that. Um, yeah, I think that the more important thing is that it's entertaining and that you enjoy it and you're having fun. Um, like I think if I was just doing just chatting and I was entertaining, that's great. A lot of people enjoy also just chatting, and so there's nothing wrong with that. But I think like the magic adds just a little bit something different where it's like, so here's the thing. There's so many magic resources on the internet and people can look up so much stuff. Heck, that's how I learned like my entire first year of magic was just free resources online. And yet not many people do. And uh I was watching my wife showed me a thing where it's like a guy on like a London subway. He asks everybody, "What's your take on like this one question?" And the one she showed me was like, "What's your take on magicians?" And the guy responded, "Oh, I think everybody should learn a magic trick because he wants more people in the world to know about magic and like more magic in the world." And I'm like, wow, that's actually not a bad like thing because if everybody knew a little bit about magic, then everybody knows, potentially how difficult it is, how to interact with somebody, like a way to speak and interact, um, and hopefully everybody knows a different trick. Like all the tricks out there, like they can be as different uh, in terms of variety and is representative of how different everybody else is. And so I don't know. I think that's like a really cool philosophy or mindset. Lindsay Harvey says magic and pro wrestling share a lot of parallels. Dude, okay, so I'm not gonna lie, right? I actually had the same thought too with magic and rock climbing because a bunch of the magicians around here are magicians and rock climbers. And I was like, no way. And so I can kind of see the parallels too with magic and pro wrestling. Yeah. Andre says, "It's not the magic, it's the magician." Oh, I mean that. I hope that you like me, Andres, and I would like to think that you've hung around with. You're in the Discord. We've chatted a bunch too, and so I'm happy to think that you also like me. So thank you very much, Andres. And Lindsay Harvey's like, "Oh, interesting," to the rock climber thing. Schaffer Stern says, "Good morning and happy Easter." Good morning, Schaffer Stern. Good news and bad news, Stern. We are getting ready to end. I have one more trick. Actually, Stern, if you want to request a trick, feel free to request something. I'm going to put in the finale trick. I'll do the outro, and then if you have one, I'm going to go ahead and do yours, and then we'll wrap up. But let's see. What was I going to do? Yeah, this one. And then welcome in Adam07950. My hobby is jumping on pro wrestlers for selfies, says Adam. So I'm not gonna lie, guys. Adam is actually pretty baller at selfies. So if you just go to like um, Adam's like Instagram, it's like selfies with like famous people on cool sets everywhere he's traveling. Like he's gotten selfies with magicians. He's gotten selfies at like various different venues, like game shows and things, right? So like Adam, you're like you're like a pro at like getting selfies with like either celebrities or like different places or anything. That's just like, dude, that's so cool. So yeah, sometimes I'm just like looking on my feed and I'm like, oh, there's Adam. He's at a new place or he's doing something like. MB Goldberg, welcome in. How's it going? More people should get into pro wrestling. That would be an interesting thing too, because like if you go around and you ask people, hey, how many magicians do you know? The answer to the pro wrestling is like, how many pro wrestlers do you know? It's probably not that different in terms of the number of people, right? Like it's not like everybody down the street is a pro wrestler. So, but welcome in, MV Goldberg. How's it going? Good to see you. Andre says, just as you said, you can learn many magic tricks, but if you don't know how to interact with people, you lose part of what makes it magical. Yeah, that's true because if so, this was one of the questions that I had with my with like my magician friend that was trying to come up with a show, and he said that and even though he's great at the magic, he doesn't know how to tell the story, how to keep talking in between tricks, right? And that's something that I think I've done pretty well here on stream because I've adapted to just chatting or talking with people on in chat as though like you guys are here, as though you're my friends, right? I'm not doing this so much as like a formal magic show. That would be way more so like that. But I hope that if you guys are hanging out here with me, that it's like we're hanging out and it's just like a casual, you get to know me, I get to know you guys, and that's like the mood that I like it, right? Um, Let's see. Shopper Stern says, "Oh, okay, thanks." Yeah. And then Andre says, "Sure, from my point of view." Adam's like, "Glorious!" And hi, hi. And then I see the request from Shopper Stern. And MB Goldberg, "Hey man," says Lindsay Harvey. 90-second ad is starting. MB Goldberg says, "Hey Lindsay." And Lindsay Harvey has redeemed premium deck. All right, and ad break is finishing now. And Sheffer Stern, uh, okay, has says, "And best of love." All right. Okay, which deck? All right. So, um, let's see here. Hold on. I have to move the finale aside. All right. Okay. Let's see here. So for the premium deck, let's see. Lindsay. Oh, hold on. Wait, wait. Lindsay Harvey has shared images of some of his decks. Let me see here. In the Discord. I forget which. Was it in Card Magic or was it in Share Your Stuff? Is Share Your Stuff, right? Oh, or maybe it was in Photos. I don't remember. No, okay. All right. Let's find a deck. Lindsay Harvey, have you seen the crossed keys deck? I don't think I've pulled this one out really on stream ever. So we can actually do, we can do, I have not. Okay, excellent. So, all right, let me, okay, we're actually going to do Sheffer Stern's request with the premium deck. Okay, so here, this is called the Cross Keys deck. Oh, they are also new and slippery that they almost slipped out of my hands. Here's the back image. And then the face, so I would say compared to standard faces, the pips are smaller and slightly more condensed. And the red pips have like a border around them. The border happens to be black, so I assume that they just blend in to the other ones. And then the face cards are like mostly standard design, but with a different coloration, slightly different colors. So shiny, not one way, and traditional enough. Looks good to me. Yep. And so, at least I'm pretty sure it's not one way. Yeah, here's all the face cards. Okay. Yep. Okay. Not one way. I'll agree. And then I'll show you something after I do the trick. So as well. All right. So here we have the four aces. You saw me get them out. And when I don't do any magic, follow the ace of spades. Here, let me turn it so you can see. Follow the ace of spades. I'll place the ace of spades there and the ace of clubs over here. The red aces will go over here. And if I don't do any magic, they remain there. So this will still be the ace of spades. This will still be the ace of clubs. And the red aces are still over here. But now, let me show you what happens when we do magic. Okay, so look, I'm going to go ahead and place the ace of spades. We're going to do the exact same thing. Ace of spades right here. Ace of clubs over here. Red aces over here. But look, I'm going to do the magic now. Ready? And I've just swapped them. Did you see that? Because now if you take a look over here, you would expect maybe if the magic didn't happen, these would still be the ace of spades and ace of clubs. But no, look, these are now the red aces because the black aces are over here. Is that weird? Super weird. I did this one for the show. I feel like it's a slightly weaker trick, so I should have moved it towards the beginning, but I put it in the middle. But I was actually thinking that this could be also a trick that I teach for the magic lesson. So along with the cards, how well do they stay? Do they polarize? I would say these can polarize just as well as any other deck. So yes, very good. they polarize well. So here's the two jokers, and the jokers basically only vary in the image just slightly. So this is the lock, this is the keys, so the cross keys. And then it comes with, so normally decks will come with, so there's the standard 52, then the two jokers makes it 54. And most decks come with 56 cards because the two other cards in other decks are usually advertisement cards. But if you get decks for either magicians or cardists or anything like that, fortune tellers, so this one comes with two additional cards, and they say true and false. And so this is like a kind of the cool feature of this deck. And so here I can just run through the polarization really quick. All right, so here is the 4 of spades. Let's go ahead and, oh, you need to do a Ghostbusters theme trick with the Keymaster and Gatekeep. Oh, dude. Okay. So yeah, here let's. So you won't be able to see that as well. Vertical. Okay, all right. I'm not gonna lie. This was both a little bit sloppy, and the deck is a little bit slippery. All right, and then so boom, boom, and so boom, boom, and boom. Okay, there you go. But the fact that like it's pretty new, I've very rarely used it, and silky smooth. It's so it feels so nice, but it's very slippery. All right, let me go ahead and put down this Ghostbusters idea because actually I really do like Ghostbusters, and so that's a good idea, Mark Rides. And there's 4 Ghostbusters, so that's perfect for like a lot of the cards because you have 4 of a rank of a suit, or sorry, 4 of a rank of all 4 suits. MB Goldberg says, I wonder what you could do with the true false cards. Oh, let me see. Let me try and improvise something really quick, actually. Hmm. Oh, wait. I know. Okay. Um, okay. All right, here we go. We have 4 cards. What do they say? Well, here we've got false. Okay, so this card is false. So now, if I go ahead and I look at the next card, this one says false. And so now, if we go ahead and take this, and with this one, also says false. And of course, what about this last one? Well, it also says false. Now, you're probably thinking, there's no possible way all 4 of them say false. And maybe I set up the whole deck introduction to do this. But anyway, no, I'm going to take out this false card. But now, if I show you, this one's also false. So now if I move it to the bottom, this one still is false. But no, look, we could do this, and then of course it will still say false. But now if I go ahead and I do this, and now there's no, but see, it's going to jump, it's going to false, right? But then of course here is what we're going to do, and false. Now you're probably wondering if I'm using 4 of the exact same card, um, and the answer is you're right. I am using 4 of the exact same card. That would be true. See, true. And of course this one is also true. Wait, is this the same deck, and why does it have true false cards? True. I know. That's true. True. Um, so yeah, here's the interesting thing though. What we can do though is if you need to get out of jail because you have true false cards because somebody just called you on it, i.e. Mark Ride says, "Wait, is this the same deck? Why does it have true false cards?" Yes. No, I was telling everybody that there was a couple of extra cards, the true false cards. But if you don't want anybody to discover them, you just have to make everything look like a joker. See, so there's a joker. Here's a joker. Here's a joker. Here's a joker. And that, my friends, is Jumping Gemini with, with true false cards and the things in this deck. So, all right. So let's go ahead and we did this. We did kind of like a hacky Jumping Gemini, but we'll count it. um, so yeah, I think MB Goldberg. I think that what you could do for fun is pretend to do like a fortune telling or like a truth or like a prediction thing, and like you can kind of control. Like, let me see here. Okay, all right. So we can pretend. I pretend to close my eyes, and I say, okay, okay, here, look at the top card, remember it. Okay, cool, excellent. And then now, if we have this, I ask the spectator, okay, was your card black? And then they can tell me whatever. And then if they say yes, then I can just be like, oh no, wait, sorry. If they say no, then it'd be true, right? And then it's like, okay, was your card a face card? And they say yes, and we're like, no, false, false, right? And so you do some weird things like that, I think. Anyway, I'm not gonna. That's not like a fully thought out trick. That's just an idea, right? And everybody else who's not into Magic just saw three cards off at the top that are different. So, um, Mark Rides, to get back to your question, yeah, it's the same deck, and I was explaining that, yeah, the deck has the standard 52, the two jokers, and then normally there's 56 cards in all of the decks, but usually two of them are advertisement cards. But in this deck, they include a true and a false card, so that's the cool thing. All right, and that is the Crossed Keys deck, and so thank you for that redeem for the premium deck, Lindsay Harvey. And hopefully, Shefferstern, that was okay to do your trick with a premium deck that somebody else redeemed. But I hope that was okay. All right. Nice, nice, says Lindsay Harvey. Shefferstern, thank you for the applause. Lindsay Harvey says, amazing. MB Goldberg says, lol, nice. Um, yeah, if MB Goldberg, hopefully you're familiar enough with card magic. If you've heard of lie detector, the card trick, I think that you could use the true false for the lie detector. Like, even if you don't change it up, you just like do that plot like with those cards. I think it'll work fine. Shuffer says yes, thank you a lot, and then we even got a bonus trick in there. All right, cool. So, um, all right, now I'm going to let me see, unpin. I'm gonna turn off the trick list. Then I'll do my outro. Then do the finale trick, and then assuming that everything goes well, then we'll raid out. And if I mess up the finale trick, we're gonna do another finale trick. So, because I don't like ending stream on a trick that I mess up on. So, all right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with me tonight. Thank you to everybody who interacted with the stream, whether you chatted in chat, did a sound alert, sent emotes, clicked on the heat map, requested a trick, any and all of these things. Thank you guys so much. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be as much fun for me. Thank you to all the lurkers out there, because magic is one of those rare art forms where if I'm practicing magic at home, there's no magic happening. The magic has to happen in your mind. Um, Andres says, thanks for the magic stream. You're welcome, Andres. My pleasure. As I've said before in the past, I value these magic streams, not just for hanging out. Like, honestly, that's what I really said that earlier, and I'm like, man, I like hanging out, right? And the second, and this almost should really be the first thing, but like the secondary thing really is like I get a lot of good magic practice doing magic streams. So I'm like, I'm doing all these tricks. I'm making myself accountable. Boss tricks, like who would do that? Who would openly confess being like, yo, I messed that trick up? Like, um, so yeah. if anybody was SROM music, welcome in. How's it? What? No boss trick? This guy has become too professional. No, 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 no. SROM. There was at least one boss trick tonight, and there was still a few boss tricks lingering that haven't been called out yet. So I did not I did not draw any attention to them. But shh. But welcome in SROM. How's it going? Also, guys, we raided into SROM last night. So if you're not following our friend SROM, please give SROM music a follow. Esrom shows movies, does music. Last night there was music from '69. Nice, nice. But also, Esrom, my sympathies. Hopefully you heal up and you're able to get back to performing. So, um, also, if anybody here was concerned that sleight of hand, that any of this was real magic, if you thought it was black magic, sorcery, or deals with the devil, it is none of those things. It is sleight of hand and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of hours. So, and I probably talked a lot more about like the whole magic stuff tonight. So, Esrom says, "Thanks a lot, brother. Deeply appreciated." And so, yeah. The other thing, oh, 90-second ad. You know what? I'm going to, uh, I'll resume. I'll resume outro after ad break is done. And then for everybody else who is still here, um, thank you for the magic. Thank you for being here, Chef Stern. Appreciate it. I don't know if you can hear that right now. I don't know if you have an ad or if you don't. I know sometimes that it does say there's an ad break, and then not everybody gets an ad. I think, as we've all said, it depends on if Twitch has advertised everything it can to you. I'm still here, says Chef Stern. Ah, excellent. Oh yeah. Also, sometimes if people have Twitch Turbo, and sometimes they do like to advertise it, and then sometimes they don't. So it depends on the person or whatnot. So, but yeah. So anyway, this upcoming week is going to be a. So last week was kind of crazy as far as scheduling was concerned. This week is going to be a little bit more. I have a little bit more time, so I'm going to probably start my website. Chef Stern says maybe because I'm not so long here today. Oh, okay, yeah. If you just like hopped on, yeah. Sometimes I think it gives you a break, and it's like, oh, okay, they just started watching. Like I sometimes notice that if I raid into another streamer and like if they have ads, not all the time do I get ad right away. So, all right. Let's see. Where was I? Oh yes. Disclaimer. Oh, guys, if you are not following our friends and mods, please give our mods some mod love and give them a follow if you're not already. There was Chan the Magic Man. Chan the Magic Man, a fellow Twitch magician, does give him a follow. Catch him on Magic Mondays. Also, if you're looking for more magic on Twitch as well, uh, we now have been finding more people on Twitch doing magic. You can go to this Magic Twitch link tree, and there's like 6 or 7 of us now listed there. So check us all out. If you're not following our friend and mod Feldon Kane, please give Feldon Kane a follow. Feldon Kane um, was in here earlier, plays games, cooks a little, is also a software developer. So definitely give Feldon Kane a follow. And then also give our friend and mod Gibson Lens. Gibson Lens, pianist, composer, video game developer, movie critic. Um, Definitely give Gibson Lens a follow as well. Gibson Lens is a software developer for Double Fine games, and Double Fine um, announced that they're still looking for people for the beta for their new game Kiln. And so, if you're interested in Kiln, that's how you spell it. Yeah, Kiln open beta this week. So I think you can sign up if you're on Steam. You can just go to the Kiln and then There should be a button I think you can click to be like sign up for open beta. All right, cool. And then if you guys want to see more of me and I'm not around, I know I've been making a concerted effort to stream a few times a week, but I only have this one on the schedule because I don't know when other times during the week when I would be free. It's usually at night though, during the week. So, but you can check out me on YouTube. Check out my YouTube. Also, if you want to come hang out or see when I go live, the best place is to follow me here on Twitch or come and hop in the Discord where I've set up a bot to yell at Discord and be like, "Nom's going live," basically. You can imagine that annoying voice every time, even though that'll probably get really old really fast. All right, and so with that, let's go ahead and do the finale trick, and then if it all goes well, we'll find somebody to raid. All right, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. They are the 4 aces. So here's a red ace. We'll leave that down there. And then here's the other red ace. We'll leave this one right here. And then we have our 2 black aces right there. Now if I take the 2 red aces, not physically, just spiritually, and I move them back to my hand, if I show you, the 2 red aces are up here. Now, some people are like, wait, where are the black aces? And a lot of people think that the 2 black aces are down here. But if I show you, I didn't actually put the black aces down here. I took the red aces away. And so if we take a look, they are blank. And actually, now if I go ahead and I take the 2 red aces from here and I blow them away, I think they're all gone. And because here, there's no more aces. And that is what I will call a successful finale. Oh, Andre says,
just blew my mind.
"Is this a game?" Yeah, and it's based online multiplayer brawl about pottery from Double Fine Productions. Form a team of colorful spirits with your friends and sculpt ceramic armor on a potter's wheel. The size and shape of the vessels define their playstyles and abilities. Team up to extinguish the enemy kiln. That is correct. Let's go, says Andres. Done. Looks so good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the game looks beautiful. Admittedly, though, the PvP nature is the thing that I'm like, oh, I don't know if I would play it, and so I would feel bad if I signed up and took a slot and I ended up not playing it. So that's kind of like the thing. And honestly, like I don't know, like I know the types of games I like, and I don't know if I would play it. So that's just like my honest. I'm sure that if I did play it, I'm sure I would like it because all the Double Fine stuff is good. Let's see. Thank you for the mind blown Stern. Thank you for the applause and the claps. Andres MB Goldberg. Andres Charlie's Beats. And Gibson Len says, "Oh, you don't have to sign up. It's open." Oh, it's open. You can also theoretically just play the pottery portion. Oh, oh, oh. Is that the thing? It's open. Okay, I thought you had this. Okay, hold on. You know what? If it's open, then I guess there's no harm in right. Hold on. We're just gonna do this right now. Kiln.
Peace.
Join the open beta. All right. I click a button. Welcome to the playtest. All right, guys.
Peace.
Well, thanks for mentioning that portion. All right, cool. So, all right, everybody. I think we'll call that a stream. And so also, if anybody wants to quote unquote peer pressure slash remind me to play the kill in beta, it's higher likelihood than zero. Um, now that it's open and I clicked a button to let me in. Okay. All right. Let's see here. I guess maybe if nothing else, if I do end up playing it a little bit, that'll be. I should. I should make another magic trick. I should make a magic trick based on kiln. That, or you know what? That should be motivation enough. Hype, says Shuffer Stern. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see who is on and where we can go. We have, let's see, many of the usual suspects, and then some other suspects as well. Hmm. Oh, there's somebody that has. Now, I truly forget how sometimes I come to follow some people, right? So I'm like, I don't remember how or why I'm following some people. Um, oh, hold on. Wait, have I ever rated this person? Let me consult the the stream spreadsheet because I may have found somebody that I may not have rated before. Okay. And how long have they been going? 41 minutes. All right. So this is a piano streamer that I have never rated before, according to my spreadsheet. So I'm pretty sure I never have. Although there's a chance I may have missed stuff because and but Gibson Lens's notes are too good. Um, but all right. So if anybody wants to come along on the raid, here's a regular raid call. Here's a sub raid call. And today we're going to raid Piano Julia. I have been in there a couple times, mostly because when I hung out in piano streams, they've raided into Piano Julia. So let's go ahead and raid over there today. So raid Piano. Oh, never mind. Piano Julia's raid settings do not allow me to raid at this time. Very well then. We're gonna raid somebody else. um, let's see. Where else can we go? I think it's been a while since I rated this person. Hold on, I'm gonna once again consult. I would like, I would like to see this feature implemented if there is a way. It's like how many times I've rated somebody and when the last time I rated somebody was. That would be awesome. Okay. Oh no, this person is not actually on right now. Okay, this other person is. Okay. All right, according to my notes, this person we have not rated for like 2 years. So, all right, new raid target. We're going to be raiding Juanita Cow. So, Juanita Cow right now is doing makers and crafting, and they're doing sewing art. I forgot what it's called, but it's like the ones where like you you thread the colored thread through the square so it looks like pixels. Um, and I had a chance to meet him at TwitchCon in Vegas, so let's go over there. But Juanita Cow is often in is a mod for I think Sarah Mahoney, John Lee, I think, and if not a mod, definitely a regular and VIP over there. So okay, so let's go ahead and let me copy a raid call. But anyway, great seeing everybody tonight. Thank you guys so much. Gibson Lens, Schaffer Stern, Andres, MB Goldberg, um, S Raw Music, Mark Rides, Lindsay Harvey. Good seeing you guys. Adam07950. Okay. And I think chat has. All right, cool. So, anyway, thank you guys so much. Great seeing you all. Um, Always amazing, says SROM Music. All right, everybody, remember to hydrate, remember to stretch, remember to get good sleep, because as we all know, it's really hard to get good sleep nowadays. So, anyway, everybody take care, and great seeing you all, and we'll see you around next time. All right, bye.